Tonight, after years of controversy, we're getting a first look at a new proposal outlining the use of riot gear in Duluth. Plus, ready for round two. Parents are gathering at Duluth Denfeld to continue the discussion surrounding changing school boundary lines. And supporters of the Line 3 replacement come out in full force as Enbridge gives an update to the pipeline project.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. After months of discussions, there's a new proposal for how and when Duluth police could use its new protective gear, also known as riot gear. You'll remember it's been a controversial issue since 2018 when Duluth City Councilors first gave police the okay to buy the gear. CBS 3's Jenna Wells got a look at the suggested policy today. She joins us now in the newsroom to break it all down. Jenna.
Well, Kristen, it took a committee of about 20 people from different organizations, more than 10 months and 30 hours worth of meetings to come up with this first draft. It says the policy's goal is to set guidelines for how police should respond to crowds, keep the peace during events, or handle disturbances. This all while allowing citizens to exercise their rights. The proposal goes on to say the department will only use crowd control tactics if they need to de-escalate what they determine is a dangerous crowd situation. That decision would be based on a tiered system. Level 1, meaning no police response required. Level 4, meaning protective equipment is needed. It would be up to the police chief to make that final decision. And as we've reported in the past, the protective gear includes a ballistic helmet, a face shield, a chest, groin, and leg protector, an elbow and forearm pad, a clear shield, a baton, and shoulder-mounted body cameras. The proposal says that during demonstrations, canine units, water cannons, firearms, and other weapons cannot be used for crowd control. Pepper spray or other types of tear gas should also not be used in non-dangerous situations or where it could affect bystanders. Now, the group that drafted this proposal researched similar policies across the country and explored scenarios where using this gear would be a possibility. You can read the full proposal on our website, cbs3duluth.com, and we will take a closer look tonight at 10 as well.
All right, thanks, Jenna. You can also learn more about the proposal at an upcoming public meeting. That's when the working group plans to present their policy to Police Chief Mike Tuskin. That meeting is set for February 3rd at Denfeld High School. Virginia police arrested 5 men after responding to reports of a burglary Tuesday evening. Police say at least 3 people the victim did not know kicked in the front door of a lower apartment. They then tried to force open the upper apartment door. Police found and arrested 5 men, and they say a juvenile later turned himself in at the jail. All 5 are expected to be charged and appear in court tomorrow. This incident is still under investigation. A heads up from Hibbing Police as a predatory offender moves to the area. Delton Misquades will be living near East 25th Street and 23rd Avenue East. Hibbing Police are holding a meeting to answer any questions at 6 o'clock Monday night. That will be held at the Hibbing Memorial Building's Little Theater. All right, let's check in with Dave for a look at the weather. Quite a few snowflakes fallen, at least in Canal Park this afternoon.
Yeah, it's been centered around Lake Superior because there's a little lake influence with us as well, as a large low pressure system continues to plot its way to the east, just down to our south. And the precip it's brought today has knocked down the roadways a little bit. We have some scattered slippery stretches for the iron ranges. They've been sticking around for a couple of days. Twin Ports in general pretty good, but there are some slippery stretches south on 35 down towards the Twin Cities. Into Wisconsin, last night's trouble with 35 and 53 is eased up, and 2 is in good shape, but a little bit of rain mixed in with the snow has made 63 and 13 and roads towards the Upper Peninsula on the icy side. So bottom line, drive carefully because we'll get more snow tonight and more through Friday. Here's our day planner for Friday. 70% chance for a little more snow in the morning, falls to a 50% chance in the afternoon. High temps will be around 31 degrees, about 10 degrees warmer than normal. In a few minutes, we'll talk about how long the warm spell will last and how long the snow chance lingers, again, in just a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. After a heated discussion on the east end of town tonight, it's Duluth Denfeld's turn to weigh in on possible changes to school boundaries. Dozens of parents shared their thoughts on several proposals to redraw the Duluth School District's boundary lines. The goal is to make sure schools aren't overcrowded. But some parents are concerned redrawing the lines could change where their child goes to school.
There's studies by the NEA that indicate that when students have a profound change like shifting a school at this point, there's an immediate drop in student performance.
Every student in Duluth deserves to have equal access to the same quality education. And I believe that, and I want to be part of a solution to make that happen.
These meetings are a way for school officials to get feedback on the proposals before making any decisions. There's another chance to weigh in. Tonight's meeting is from 6 to 8 o'clock at Denfeld High School. Anyone is welcome to attend. A focus today on Minnesota's sex trafficking fight in Grand Rapids. At Itasca Community College, 8th District Congressman Pete Stauber helped host a public forum on sex trafficking and exploitation. Stauber was joined by area tribal leaders and law enforcement who fielded questions and ideas from the public on ways to get sex trafficking out of our communities. We spoke with the congressman just before the forum got underway about what he thinks should be done.
When young girls and women come forward that they've been sexually assaulted, that you immediately believe them and then work on taking care of them, giving them the comfort, the healing they need, and then ensure that the offender is held accountable.
State human rights representatives were also on hand to field questions and concerns from the public. The House impeachment managers continued making their case today for President Trump's removal in day 3 of their opening arguments. Lead impeachment manager Adam Schiff says the plan for today's session was to lay out evidence they believe supports their first article of impeachment, abuse of power. Meanwhile, the debate over whether the trial will include witness testimony continued off the floor, with some Republicans finding the arguments of House Democrats repetitive. The president's defense team will likely begin their arguments on Saturday. A vote on whether to subpoena more witnesses or documents would come after the defense has concluded their opening arguments and senators' questions. A memorial fund has been set up to help honor the life of Marshall Bader. The 3rd grader died in a farming accident in Boy River just west of Grand Rapids on Sunday. Members of Minnesota's hockey community have been honoring him by leaving hockey sticks out on their front porches. His family says they want to do something to commemorate his life each year, and they've had many people ask how they can help. Well, they set up a memorial fund at Deerwood Bank in Grand Rapids. There's also a GoFundMe account. We have more information on how you can donate on our website, CBS3Duluth.com. St. Louis County held its annual homeless count today, working to find out how many people don't have a shelter. Lifehouse took part in the count. Executive Director Jordan Johnson says they help around 800 homeless teens each year. He says the reasons teens end up without a place to stay range from mental health and substance abuse issues to domestic violence and foster care. Lifehouse acts as a resource for those teens, helping them get back on track.
And if you think of young people who might not have an adult support system, our services and our case managers and the people we work with offer those kind of long-term services and support to help people move forward.
Johnson says finding ways to provide more affordable housing is key to addressing the issue of homelessness for people of all ages. Meanwhile, organizations came together at Duluth's Damiano Center today to connect people who are homeless with resources. That included haircuts, accessing IDs and birth certificates, and a warm lunch. Rosalind Horn with the Salvation Army says this event is crucial for the people who need it most.
This is a very important event to the community. It really provides a one-stop shop for different resources for individuals experiencing homelessness or housing insecurity, or even just needing some connection to resources.
This event is held twice a year, once in October and in January. A unique opportunity today to sign a piece of Enbridge's Line 3 pipeline. It was part of the Safest Way tour, along with allowing community members to sign part of the pipeline on their stop in Duluth today. They also updated the community on Enbridge's efforts to replace the Line 3 pipeline. The line runs from Alberta to Superior, carrying crude oil. Many spoke in support of the project, including Congressman Pete Stauber.
And I stand with you in support of this project. And I will continue to push this project and continue to stand with you until it's completed, because it's the safest way to do it.
The project is pending regulatory permits, but officials there say the projected $2.9 billion restoration project will provide a boost to the economy. Meanwhile, the project has received criticism from a number of groups who say the potential risk to the environment is not worth it. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, you know the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, now experts are saying kids need more veggies in their diet. More on that in your Eye on Parenting next.
I think they were saying that back in my day, too. Today, high temp 31 degrees, warmer than normal, just like yesterday, and just like the next several days. How long will the warm spell last? How much snow tonight? Questions we'll answer in just a few more minutes.
CBS 3 News is brought to you by Duluth Casino.
Superior Glass is your one-stop glass shop for any project, big or small. We have a showroom unlike any in the Northland. Whether it's doors, windows, or even shower glass, we have you covered. Visit our showroom today at Superior Glass, your one-stop glass shop.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, Essentia Health cardiologist Raman Artang tells us about calcium scoring, a preventive test for people age 45 or older.
A coronary calcium score is a CT scan of the chest where we primarily focus on amount of calcium that can be seen in the heart. Calcium comes due to the disease process of coronary artery disease. As we age, some of the plaques that are developing in the vessels, with time they calcify, and that's what we can actually measure with the X-ray that the CT scan is.
This 15-minute scan is critical in determining one's risk for serious health events, such as a heart attack, over the next 5 to 10 years.
Let's say a gentleman in his 50s with significant family history of coronary artery disease get this test and get a relative high score. Having calcium in your heart definitely pushes toward the fact that you need to be on medication, such as cholesterol-lowering medication, because it's proof that coronary artery disease process is going on in the heart. If your cholesterols were a little high, but you have absolutely no calcium in your heart, that would allow the doctor to say, well, there's not much going on here, we can wait. This test is not for people who actually have chest pain symptoms or shortness of breath symptoms. This test is for people who, with no symptoms whatsoever, but who have a risk factor such as diabetes, such as a long-standing history of smoking, such as high cholesterol or high blood pressure, who are afraid there's something bad waiting for them.
For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
To learn more about this and other health topics, visit essentiahealth.org/medical insight.
Are you on the search for great windows? Look no further. Superior Glass has you covered. With our vast selection of the highest quality H-window options, you won't be disappointed. At Superior Glass, your one-stop glass shop.
Music's biggest night
It doesn't get bigger than the Grammys.
deserves music's biggest interviews.
I think bodies are beautiful. I think bodies should be celebrated. I always wanted to perform. Always.
The Gayle King Grammy Special.
Did you even know how to ride a horse?
Not much, I do now. Tonight at 10, 9 Central on CBS.
Music's biggest stars hit the Grammy red carpet with hosts Sharon Osbourne, Kevin Frazier, and Kelty Knight. Grammy red carpet live Sunday on CBS.
CBS 3 Weather is brought to you by Nicolay Law Office. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Low pressure system continues its trek just to our south. Its northern fringes reaching into our area here and, of course, tangling with the lake, which means a little bit of extra slippery, rainy, smelty, combined with freezy precip. Yeah, it's a real mixed bag. That's why we've been saying our big rain and snow mix is coming our way. But bottom line here is it's slicking up the roadways, and so we do have a winter weather advisory in effect until 9 o'clock here for just about all of our lakeside communities, both North Shore and South Shore, although it looks like Douglas County in Wisconsin is off the hook, and so are people over towards Iron County and the Upper Peninsula. But towards the Bayfield Peninsula and head of the lakes, take it easy on the roadways here. Hopefully things ease up tomorrow afternoon as our low pressure system finally leaves. All right, let's see what's happening right now, current condition-wise at the airport here in Duluth. Warm spell continues, day number 2. It's 27 degrees. The normal's only 20 or so. And at least here at the airport in Duluth, we're still getting a very light, fine mix of that rain and that snow, so a little frozen and a little bit melted, all combining to slick up the roadways. Relative humidity, it's 89%, barometric pressure 30.19, and current regional temperatures are in the mid-20s towards Orr International Falls and Hibbing Chisholm as well. 26 Grand Rapids, 30 Moose Lake, 25 Silver Bay, and 30 from Superior down the road to Solon Springs and Gordon, and 31 in Hayward, 30 Ashland, and upper 20s to about 30 Upper Peninsula. Warm spell, like I mentioned, here for its second day. Likely will be here for at least another week, which isn't good news, I've been told today by folks who have kids that play outdoor hockey. Yeah, it doesn't help when it's around 32. So this week may be a bit rough for practicing that sport. Doppler map right now shows the northern parts of Minnesota really not getting much of this precip at all. It is focused around the head of the lakes and into Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula, again, as the northern fringes of a low pressure system work through. 70% chance, folks, here in this zone will get more precip tonight, and a 50% chance or so that it sticks around through tomorrow, probably in the form of snow. As the back end of the circulation of this low to the south starts to come around, it starts to pull down cooler air, and so the rain portion of the mix will go away, and it should become straight up snow. And that may linger through Friday. Then we get into Saturday, and higher pressure will try to nudge into the area. It'll act as a block to this low pressure system, but neither of the system wins out, so we'll probably have a cloudy sky, but it'll be dry like a high and indeed cloudy like a low. Well, what do we get as far as the snow totals go then through tomorrow evening? I'm thinking around the Iron Ranges, again, not much at all, but Minnesota, the rest of it, 1 to 3 inches, and into Wisconsin, 2 to 4. And maybe a little lake aggravation could make more than that for the Bayfield Peninsula. Tonight in Minnesota, low temps cool, 10 inland, 30 by the lake. Big discrepancy there. For Wisconsin and Michigan, a tighter band, 25 to 27 for the low temps. Tomorrow, light snow continues. Wisconsin, Michigan, highs 32 to 36. In Minnesota as well, a little bit more snow through the day, 28 to 35 for the high temps. Warmer than normal for all counts, and warmer than normal for the rest of the week ahead. Saturday, Sunday, Monday should be dry finally, if cloudy. Then Tuesday and Wednesday, another chance for a little bit of light snow comes to call, Kristen.
All right, thanks, Dave. Most parents know that their kids should eat lots of fresh veggies to stay healthy, but that's often easier said than done. According to one study, about 1 in 5 parents of 1-year-olds reported that their toddlers ate no vegetables at all on the days they were surveyed. Now, scientists say they have a way to help kids eat more of the good stuff. CBS 3's Leanne Valdez has more in this week's Eye on Parenting.
If you have a picky eater, you know mealtime can be a struggle. Now a new study shows there may be a simple way to help your kids eat more veggies. Researchers in Australia examined 32 families with children between ages 4 and 6 who didn't eat a lot of fresh vegetables. They found that when the families offered the kids a small amount of multiple vegetables repeatedly, the children ate more vegetables. In fact, they went from eating half a serving to more than a full serving. But those who were offered a single vegetable repeatedly, such as broccoli at each meal, did not increase their vegetable consumption. These findings suggest that parents should keep serving a variety of vegetables to their kids, even if they refuse to eat them. Other ways to encourage healthy habits are to use positive encouragement and do not force your child. They only need to taste a small amount in order to build up liking over time. Set a good example by eating veggies yourself. Offer low-fat salad dressing and dips, helping you motivate your child to eat healthier.
Authors of the study say while the amount of vegetables increased during the study, it still didn't meet dietary guidelines. According to the USDA, children who are 4 to 8 years old should have 1.5 to 2.5 cups of veggies per day. All right, Kelly's here with a look at what's coming up in sports. Did you get your veggies in today, Kelly?
No,
Oh.
I did get fruits in.
Okay. You still have time.
I'm having salad for dinner.
There you go.
There we go. I'm good. Yeah, so the Vikings may have found their new offensive coordinator, according to a few reports. We're going to have the latest on who it is coming up next.
Dominate any terrain on a Polaris snowmobile from Duluth Lawn and Sport.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota, home of the largest selection of SUVs in the Northland. Visit KohlerToyota.com for 50th anniversary specials.
It's on the other side.
I saw that.
Wi-Fi here, Wi-Fi there, Wi-Fi where you've never Wi-Fi'd before. Wi-Fi beyond walls, beyond boundaries, beyond compare. Wi-Fi like your house is one giant hotspot, the hottest hotspot. Sound extreme? It is.
I am running to defeat Donald Trump. In 2016, I warned that Donald Trump was a dangerous demagogue. When the Republican Congress wouldn't hold him accountable, I went to work helping run winning campaigns in 21 House seats. It's time for the Senate to act and remove Trump from office. And if they won't do their jobs this November, you and I will. I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Heavenly hand cream.
Heavenly hand cream? My hands get so dry and cracked, I need serious relief. That's why I use O'Keeffe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief of dry, cracked hands. Thanks to O'Keeffe's, I got my hands back.
At Holden Insurance, we insure our neighbors. We have agencies in Superior, Hayward, Spooner, Ashland, and Duluth. This helps us provide the best possible service to northwestern Wisconsin and northern Minnesota with our partner, Auto Owners Insurance. Protect what means most to you with Holden Insurance.
America's Most Watched Network. Tonight, starting at 7, only on CBS3 Duluth. Then, stay tuned for CBS3 News at 10. Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over-the-air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
What is the 2020 census? Every 10 years, the census records everyone living in this country. It's written in the Constitution and comes in a questionnaire that counts everyone who lives at your address on April 1st. The data can be used to inform funding for services like fire stations, schools, clinics, and representation that affect your community. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
Better?
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
When Kevin Stefanski officially took over as the Browns' new head coach, Mike Zimmer was careful not to give any speculation right away as to who would be the Vikings' new offensive coordinator. People speculated he'd be hiring within, however, and we may now have the answer. According to the NFL Network, the Vikings will hire Gary Kubiak as their new OC. Kubiak, a former NFL head coach with the Texans and Broncos, has been with the Vikings since 2019, serving as the team's assistant head coach and offensive advisor. Kubiak has won 4 Super Bowl rings as both a player and a coach, most recently leading the Broncos to a championship 4 years ago at Super Bowl 50. And after a $92 million deal, Twins fans finally got the blockbuster free agent that they wanted when Minnesota signed Josh Donaldson. The team's hoping to the resurgence Donaldson displayed in Atlanta last season will carry over to the Twin Cities this year. He hit 37 home runs with 6.1 wins above average ratings last season with the Braves. Donaldson was formally introduced yesterday.
There's a lot of things that for me, why it drew me here. I think the division sets up well. Being back in the American League fits well. Personal success in this stadium has definitely been something that, I was looking forward to possibly being here one day. There was a lot of things that were already leaning me towards, being here. I was just hoping that, they felt the same way.
At this point, you'd have to be living under a rock to not know that UMD women's hockey has one of the best netminders in the country, maybe even in the world, backing them up. Maddie Rooney, in her senior year as a Bulldog, is continuing to rack up the stats and the records. And just last weekend, it was career shutout number 12 for the Andover, Minnesota native. Within that game, Rooney also stopped her 2,999th career shot, breaking the UMD all-time record, to which she had no idea of.
Yeah, I had no idea that record was coming, so when they announced it over the scoreboard, I was kind of in shock. But obviously super special to now hold that record, and I think I'm just displaying more confidence in myself, which is definitely leading me to play better out there and hopefully give my teammates the best chance to win. And as a class, I think we're all kind of just realizing that it's getting down there for our last college hockey game, so we're going into every game putting everything on the line.
A look at Maddie Rooney's season stats to date: 548 saves to date this year, 10-8-3 overall record, 1.94 goals against average. Career-wise, Maddie now has 3,030 career saves. Last weekend, like I said, she notched her 12th career shutout with a 2-0 win on Friday night over Bemidji State. Finally, our My9 Sports Network game of the night is Proctor against Hermantown boys hockey. As always, it will be live on TV and streamed on our website. Puck drop is at 7:30 p.m. Gonna be a good one.
Tonight is
Thursday Night Face-Off.
Yeah.
So you can get that game, highlights from that game, and games all throughout the area, all in one sportscast.
all right here at 10 o'clock.
On CBS3.
Thanks, Kelly. Well, before we go, Animal Allies is hoping to reunite a new rescue with her mom after a rough first day of life. Animal control officers found little Fiona this morning. The day-old puppy has cuts on her body, and officials believe she may have been picked up by a bird and then dropped. Somehow, she survived. They don't normally see newborn puppy rescues, but say Fiona is a fighter, and they believe she will make a full recovery.
For the time being, she is going to be confined to medical care with very limited human contact. We just really want to ensure that, she has the best fighting chance at moving forward in life.
The first few days of a puppy's life are crucial to the future of their well-being. This means Fiona will have round-the-clock care and won't have any visitors for a few weeks. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll tell you when she might be ready for adoption. All right, Dave, before we go here, is the snow going to continue to fall for some people around the lake?
Yeah, light snow probably will persist through much of the region overnight tonight, through a good portion of tomorrow as well, and then wrap up and go away come Saturday and Sunday, though the clouds will still be left behind. High temps in the lower 30s, warmer than normal, but that's the way we'll be all the way through at least next Thursday.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 10.